Okay, so going off my previous video, I was speaking about a lot of things, right? But basically, the system doesn't want us to be free. We talk about the matrix, the system, right? Cool. Basically, it's just they don't want us to be free and independent. Free in the mind, independent thinking, independent thinker, right? It just means you think for yourself. You don't lean on Sally, Wendy, Martha, Jonathan, Nicholas, right? You just you can talk to people and listen and gain insight, but ultimately you make the final decision and you consult yourself first. God damn. To me that was common sense, but I realized that a lot of us heavily depend on systems to think, right? Just think for yourself. It's not scary, it's okay. The system doesn't want us to think independently because if we do, we will be less of a consumer. We will be less of a worker and will be less controlled and manipulated by people in positions of power at your work, uh, corporate entities, right? People make money off this stuff. So they don't want you to be able to think clearly and independently and freely because then you can decide, hey, I'm thinking independently. I can judge this media outlet for what they're actually saying and doing. And I can go, I'm not going to listen to this anymore. Or I can choose to not buy this product just because everybody else is buying it. I can choose to not buy this product because I think independently and I go, wait, this isn't actually healthy for me. I'm going to opt out, right? So you can think for yourself and the decisions you make, you are more likely to opt out of a lot of consuming and redirecting your consuming to more healthier things. That's what they don't want us to do. They don't want us to be smart. They don't want us to think independently. And thinking independently is what it is to be smart. To true intelligence is born out of thinking independently. Why do you think Einstein and all these inventions and all these great people, it all came from being the first to think of, to conceive of, right? Or just, allowing that space for God to give you the downloads or the ideas, right? But you can't get it if you've adopted a belief system or ideas from society or other people's ideas. It stops that signal from getting through, right? It stops your intuition from getting through. Your soul can't speak to you. God can't speak to you if you've already shut him down by saying, no, this is what it is and this is what I believe, before finding out for yourself. That's what everyone, or a lot of people rather, are rushing to, is soon as they're born, whatever, just find a belief system, a religion, something that tells them about what reality means and where we're going and what it all is. And they just adopt these beliefs as their own. And your whole worldview and perception is based upon this framing, is based upon your beliefs and thoughts about it. Your whole sense of reality is birthed upon or dependent upon your beliefs and your ideas and thoughts, right? So that's why I'm very serious about religion and spirituality and these matters, because we're playing with people's perception, right? So we want to tell the truth so that our perception isn't distorted, right? We can see clearly and agree upon the truth, at least mostly, right? Otherwise, everything's chaotic, everything's disastrous, right? It's wars, it's what's happening and what's been happening, right? What's happening and what's been happening is because we're not centered, we're not aligned in truth, we don't care about the soul, we don't give a shit about the spirit or soul. We say we do through religion and certain means, but we don't actually, because practicing that is different, looks different, feels different. The reality of it is different, but we can't get into that reality a lot of the time because too many programs, too many things. We can't even get a second to be alone, or to a second to just do nothing. The second you get a second to do nothing, you're on the phone, right? Scrolling or doing something, entertainment or distracting, right? So That's all it is, man. Independent thinking and operating from spirit, not neglecting spirit. It's so, you know, it's so neglectful. We were supposed to make heaven on earth. The Garden of Eden was supposed to be replicated on earth because it's all the same shit that exists here. Trees, plants, animals, humans. That's here, bro. We were supposed to make peace and harmony with our surroundings. God damn, bro. And at the very least, right? See, we're not aligned with that. That's an alignment of oneness, seeing each other as human or spirit first. We don't see each other as spirit first or human first. We see each other as commodities first. What can I get out of it? Who is this person? Judge this person first. Depending on what car he drives, how he talks, how he presents himself, what he looks like, what clothes he wears, then I can kind of gauge how much respect to give him or how much time or energy I should give him and how I should see him and judge him and perceive him based on this idea of success. And so complicated, overcomplicating everything. And all of that means nothing. How much we compete on social media and in real life, it's all just ego competition. That's what all this stress is about, is competing with the next person. But guys, competition is subjective. You might as well stop competing because it's dumb. It's subjective. So who's to say I'm less valuable because I don't have a cool car? So let's say I drive a shit car and then somebody else has a Lamborghini, right? So I'm now less valuable. Okay, what if I have $2 million in my bank account, but I just don't spend it on a car, right? Or if I have more money than that guy that drives a Lamborghini, but you just wouldn't know about it. And now let's say I told you that, right? Now would you look at me different? Did my value just increase? You see how arbitrary and dumb this is? And even if it is whatever way, so what? We've lost sight of logic. What does that mean? Even if he drives a Lamborghini, right? And I have an average car, let's just say, right? That's a scenario. What's actually happening? Yeah, you'll just be in a nicer vehicle driving around with him. Yeah, the experience of that will be cooler and more nicer. But is it that much more nicer that it's like, oh my God, I will treat that human more of a commodity and base him based on his materials or success or the idea of him or his status more than just his character or who he is? Because that's what we do a lot of the time. Like girls literally choose guys based on, like, you know how many shit guys get with girls, get like the choose of the litter, the pick of the litter, just because they have millions of dollars, but they're shit humans. And the women know they're shit, but they still get with them because of the money. We worship money on this planet way too much because we lost sight of spirit. But you see, when you lose sight of spirit, you're also losing sight of logic and truth. Like there's more that comes with that. That's why we be dumb, because we're judging in a dumb way. Because at the end of the day, none of that shit means anything, and you're stressing yourself. Literally what's happening versus the idea of it in our heads, what's literally happening is we're overstressing unnecessarily, because everything you're getting is for yourself. It serves no one else other than yourself. So when you think independently, you can go, well, social media, I would just use it as for myself. Like instead of competing, I just uploading what I like, what I want to do, or my hobbies, or my interests, just what I like. Because that way, that's meaningful to you. That's only what matters, bro. Only what's meaningful to you. Everything else literally doesn't matter. That's why a lot of you guys upload so much shit and you still feel hollow inside, is because you know that shit never really meant that much to you. You did it for them. You did it for the validation of thinking that was going to get a lot of views or whatever. And maybe it did, but it still felt hollow because you're not there. You didn't value it as much, right? So you look at these things differently. Social media is an outlet just to showcase who you are. You use the tool. We don't let these tools use us. Now we're letting the tools use us because they're overtaking us. They're making us stressed. They're making us, right? Because we're losing sight of logic, because we've lost sight of God. It all connects, right? Because doing this competing unnecessary shit is some devil type shit anyway. Because this planet is on demon time more than God time. You know what I'm saying? God is always underneath, but demon time is running the show, right? So competing and all this shit unnecessarily and judging each other as commodities based on status symbols, logos, status symbols. Those status symbols don't include how much wisdom the person has, how intelligent the person is, how truthful, how honest, how resourceful, how competent, how anything. How emotionally intelligent, how creative. We can keep going. How dependable, whatever, right? So we need to stop judging each other superficially and playing on a superficial bandwidth. Like, I think enough is enough, right? And all I'm saying is just be fucking human and be natural like any species is supposed to be, bro. We're supposed to be naturally getting along. We're not supposed to be going at each other's necks this much. See, and the reason we are, as it once again, is the systems that are in place, the corporations, the governments. It's corruption everywhere. And when corruption is everywhere, in each government, everywhere, in all these positions of power, money is being misused, policy gets misused. So the policies we implement, the money, the way it's being redirected, the things we spend the money on, how much money we've been spending on war. You know, the US spending like $1 billion a day with the whole war that was going on, right? So we end up spending so much money in areas that we shouldn't need to, right? Why should we, even the concept, when you think very simple and logically, I mean, we're the same species. Should we really look at the stage we've got to where we all need to defend each other with guns and missiles and nuclear bombs? We're creating this. The only outcome of a nuclear bomb is utter destruction, catastrophic destruction, beyond measure, and worse, because then you got radiation that extends more miles out and shit, and then it affects humans, it affects nature. That's how bad it is. You fucking just infusing chemicals everywhere, bro. Nature suffers, you know, the grass, everything has to regrow and shit like that. Gets destroyed, buildings, humans get destroyed, animals, everything. We got to clean up the mess. Humans, lives, people destroyed mentally, spiritually. Then you got to fucking build all the infrastructure all over again. This is what's happening everywhere. Everywhere that's going civil war, hopefully not another world war. Surely, bro. But when everyone's racing for nuclear weapons and trying to get the most advanced technology to have the biggest bomb and the biggest, most destructive, and what's the end result, bro? This is scary, bro. And we've desensitized ourselves to a lot of this shit. So much propaganda, media, all of this. What I'm saying is this is the way out, and this is the only way to be, is we need to fundamentally, systematically, structurally be aligned with truth and health. Health and truth go together. Peace, health, truth, right? Just being fucking human and abiding in spirit, soul, right? Just placing the soul as the foundation, right? So we can still have these different systems, entertainment, health, all this stuff, government, but just clean it up, right? Reappoint the people that are in these positions of power to clean, healthy, good-spirited good character individuals that are still scientists, that are still in these positions that have the academics or knowledge to back up. You know, they're still qualified, but they just also have good character. And clean up that shit in all the positions of power that are, you know, that matter, that have, you know, high power, bro. Billionaires, trillionaires, right? Now, I know I'm speaking hypothetically because these niggas aren't going to do it, but this is the only way to do it, right? Is the governments and the powers that be need to either clean up their act and get their shit together, or change the people that are in positions of power. It's the only way out. And then from the top down, we just need to be fundamentally more in truth than fake shit. That's it. We need to just reverse the system. Right now, every system fundamentally is on fake shit as the foundation. And then we talk about truth. That's what we do. We like the idea of truth and getting along and kumbaya, but really we know it's fucking batshit crazy out here and chaotic, right? Because this is what we're breeding from the system, from the ground up, from the top down as well, is where our foundation is opposite what it needs to be, right? We're on fake shit. That's why the industry fake, health system fake, politicians, when they present themselves, when you hear them talk, you can just feel it, fake, right? The food we're eating, right? All this is fake, right? The media, fake. Social media, fake. Everything fake, right? Fake ass, fake shots, surgery, fake. Pretending like transgender, all that shit is normal, fake, right? Like that you can't even have a reaction, right? Like when in history has a man turned into a fucking woman? That's pretty fucking outrageous. Fake that I can't react to that. Fake. Cancel me, fake. Right? We need to get back to the natural world, the natural, just fucking human to human soul. We're all equal. We don't need to compete. Right? The foundation is in truth. And then there's always going to be outliers to every society. That's not what I'm worried about. There's always going to be shit cunts. There's always going to be weirdos or even perverted people or violent people or whatever, right? There's always going to be those types of people in every society anyway. But it becomes the minority when we clean the structure or the foundation of the way we go about things, right? What we teach in schools, what religion is, right? What are we actually doing, right? What are we actually teaching in schools? What's actually beneficial and healthy, and not just about making money and control and manipulation? That's what our foundations are in now, the opposite of what I'm trying to get at. We need to reverse it. We're on demon time. We need to go back to God time. When was the last God time, right? I don't know. We've been fucking all throughout history that I know going back. It's just been like within demon time, there's been obviously a lot of good stuff happening and camaraderie and love and joy. Of course, from people to people, that's going on all over the world, is love and all that. I'm not talking about people to people right now. I'm talking structurally, foundationally, what's being taught to us being taught to not think, right? To just adopt thinking, belief systems, who we are, ideas, judgment. The foundation that breeds society, the social media, the outlets, everywhere we go to, we can't escape it, right? Because this is what we've created. And we just need to reverse the order. That's it. Base it in truth, clean this shit up, right? And then there'll be outliers in every society. There'll still be cunts that want to rebel. There'll still be cunts that, are violent or, crazy people. They'll still be there, but at least it'll die out a bit. It'll gradually die out and clean up, because what we're teaching and what the energy is surrounded by will be such good vibes, for the majority at least, because we're all taken care of. And obviously based on this intention, we would do what's common sense, right? We would build the housing and the economies of all the countries that are lacking basic survival needs, or the 5 survival needs, housing, water, food, shelter, all that stuff, right? We would get that for those people, right? So many countries in drought, famine, still war, right? We would clean that shit up. First of all, just stop war, just stop doing that, just stop shooting, just stop, right? And we'll just have common sense, right? We would realize we're all on the same team. Unity. Be smart. You see how the chimps get together and one family, right? It's more smarter if we all equal in each other's eyes, in terms of just, you're a human, I'm a human. God damn. It's not everything is about what you get out of something, because you don't even know what you're getting out of something. Sometimes a conversation is getting something out of something. Sometimes making a mistake and learning something differently is getting something out of something. Maybe sometimes getting your ego checked is getting something out of something. We don't know how God works, but at least if we can fucking allow God to work with us, we don't even allow God to work with us, because we're too busy acting crazy and buffoonery. God can't reach us. God can't communicate with us. We don't have a signal with God, and we cut it off. The leaders cut the people in positions of power. They cut it off. So we need to clean it up from the inside out, right? Just chill, just be on good time. Just, you can still make money. All these people that are in the positions of power, all it would mean, it was probably mean they would just make less profit. Instead of 6 billion, maybe 5 billion, maybe 4 billion. Oh my God, whoop-de-doo. Are you serious, bro? Is that how greedy you cunts are? That you can't just make a little bit less profit? You're still in the millions, you're still in the billions, but just a little bit less profit. Maybe redirect some of that money elsewhere and on real shit, right? That's all that would mean. You guys can still have great business models, make money, but just maybe a bit less, and other people enjoy too. And everyone in every country can have basic housing, right? Just get the basics in order. Basic housing, everyone, boom. Then no more propaganda through media, just be good media, and you still make money off media, and we'll actually enjoy it, and we'll spend money. You don't have to sell negativity to make money. We'll still buy it, dickheads. Right? And clean it up. Healthcare system. You still make money. Just sell us healthy shit, right? Religion, just don't confuse us and do all this weird twisted shit with all the bullshit. Just, you don't need to have religion and dogma, belief system. You just need to know the fundamentals of reality from someone that's lived it truly and organically, right? It's more about the character of the person. You don't, religion, first of all, spirituality is something within. It's very personal. It's not something to be outsourced and make a business of, really. You know what I mean? It's a personal thing, but it has had its place too, because it's gotten people off the streets. So religion is good as well. It's done good stuff. A lot of people that are crazy or just can't keep to themselves, they just are destroying the communities, or people that are, you know, those types of people, you need to grab them and put them into a church and just be like, yo, chill. Read this. Here, read this. You introduce morality to them just so they can fucking chill and stop being a menace to society. Religion has helped a lot of people like that. Very good. So religion isn't all bad, you know, but I'm just saying structurally found from a foundation perspective, the beliefs, a lot of them are cooked, and the things that they want you to believe and the ideas of the world, it's, you know, it's a mess. But there is some good in it as well. And a lot of the passages and verses are really nice and good to read, but you have to have discernment when you read it. You know, it's the interpretation matters, you know. Sometimes they cook the interpretation. But anyway, I'm going on a tangent. I think I'll wrap the video up. But yeah, just cleaning up the industries. This is, and I'm telling you the solution because it's exactly achievable. We can do it right now. It's just literally our stubbornness. That's what's making us not do this. We have the money and resources to get every country adequate enough. Just the basics. Just the basics for everyone to have housing and live in a decent economy and not super inflation and just not war in their fucking country, and they can have peace. Can they just fucking have peace and everyone have a place to live and just chill and enjoy, right? Just have that across all countries. We're all on the same team. We're all human, same species. Remember, unity, yeah? It's more smarter, common sense to do this. We all benefit. You still get to enjoy. You still get your millions. You still get all that, right? And we'll give it to you even 10 times, 100 times fold, because now you'll feel good from the inside as well. Right? And we just clean up these industries, and then we just be independent in our thinking, right? That's it. Just think independently, healthy, honest, right? And just clean these industries up. That's it. The people in positions of power, right? That's it. And we can do this. We can make Garden of Eden, heaven on earth, but we just choose to not do that because we're stubborn and ignorant. We're dumb. Just say it as it is. We're dumb. It's very dumb. It's very dumb to not play on the same team as the same species, because we could enjoy life way more if we did, for all of us. See how dumb we are? A few want to enjoy just for themselves at the expense of many. That's dumb, because you're not even enjoying yourself as much as you could. If we all enjoyed, you'd still enjoy yourself even more. But because you want to play ego, but I mean, it's dumb. It's very dumb. It's like fucking monkeys throwing poo at each other. That's what we are. You know, fucking monkey poo. That's what we are. All right. That's the video. I gotta go. Fuck, I got a pizza in the oven. Peace out. And that is the way forward. Salute, and may the force be with you.